All right, welcome back to MMA Al Dente. I am here in my bathrobe, really getting shit done. I'm here to talk about the first fight for UFC 282, Stephen Koslow versus Cameron Saaiman. These are both youngsters. Koslow is 25 anyway, and he's 5'7". Saaiman is South African. Koslow, I think, is fighting out of Florida, but Cameron Saaiman is South African, 5'9", 21 years old. He's the kid here, but he's no ordinary kid. I do trust him as a fighter, certainly more than I do Koslow. You know, they both have identical records, 6-0 as a pro, different amateur records, but still as a pro, they're both 6-0. But I just trust Saaiman more. Koslow, I haven't been able to see his fights, they're not available, but he's 6-0 with 6 first round submissions, and they're all over garbage opponents on paper. His amateur record is 10-1, which is pretty extensive. He's got a few decisions early on in his amateur career, which, I'm sure are 9-minute fights, but, it's impressive. I guess it's nice that he's won a decision. Takes away from the front runner reputation I'm sure he's earned as a pro with just 6 first round submissions. But his 10-1 amateur record includes a win over the guy that beat him. The guy that beat him in his first amateur fight, beat him by split decision, and he avenged that loss, I think, in his last amateur fight via rear naked choke. So Koslow has a very pretty record, but you can't trust it. He's hasn't been to round 2 as a professional, and he certainly hasn't fought anybody good that would be a respectable name on his record. Cameron Saaiman, despite being much younger, he's 6-0, and he's got a much deeper resume. He's also 5-0 as an amateur, which is not nothing. That's pretty. But as a pro, he's got a 5-round decision victory over the EF whatever champion over in Africa. And the guy's not the best fighter at all. I think he's got a record now of 8-7. But still, for a guy with a solid experience for a regional fighter, and he's done better in the second half of his career, Cameron Saaiman was able to get the better of him in 5 rounds, which is a feather in his cap moving forward because, it's all about answering questions, and Cameron Saaiman's answered more questions, especially in his Contender Series fight where he took out Josh Wayne Kim. That was like the perfect fight for him to win. Not that it was flawless. It wasn't flawless by any means, but the fact that he faced adversity in round 1 and even in round 2 a little bit and then took over the fight. I think there was like a crucial moment where he got up and defended the takedown with a guillotine, and then pretty much the rest of the fight was his for the next, round and a half. And Cameron Saaiman got a violent finish over Josh Wayne Kim, who was a solid favorite to beat him there, probably largely due to the age difference. But Cameron Saaiman is no ordinary 21-year-old, where I thought like Teresa Bleda was susceptible to getting overwhelmed and discouraged. And, I remember saying in that pre-fight video, she's 20 years old. Who knows how her first loss is going to look? Like she could look like a deer in the headlights if things aren't going her way. I don't see that from Cameron Saaiman. I mean, if he fought somebody that good, a ranked fighter, I'm sure he'd get overwhelmed and get his ass kicked and look really sloppy. But I trust the guy's heart. So far, I trust both of their durabilities. But I trust Cameron Saaiman's tenacity and his composure, really. Composure. This guy is a guy that I think he's not going to be fatiguing if he's put in a spot he's not comfortable with. So I'm taking Cameron Saaiman to win. He's got, again, the 3rd round finish, which was his best fight over Josh Wayne Kim. He's also got a 5-round decision, and he's also got 2 other round 2 finishes. I just trust him more in a fight. So I'm picking Cameron Saaiman to tame the submission artist, Koslow, and to get a finish later in the fight. But I'm not really betting on anything. I'm betting on a few props. That's it. The over-under is set at 1 round, 1.5 rounds. That's, I can't gamble on that. And Cameron Saaiman's money line is minus 400. That's my prediction. He wins by round 2 knockout. I'm not playing his money line. But I am going to play a few different props. I'm playing Stephen Koslow round 1 flat, which, is plus 1,000. The only reason I'm not playing round 1 submission is because that's plus 1,000. So BetUS fucked up a little bit there. Or I don't know, maybe they didn't. But for the same odds, I'll just take him winning by knockout or submission, especially in round one. And that's absolutely worth it, even reflected on his, even in comparison to his money line, which is plus 300. I think plus 1,000 for the way he's won all 6 of his first 6 fights. Yeah, it's worth it, even with all the unknowns, which there are so many unknowns with Koslow. Even his record, you can't get a full grasp on him, but you can't see his fights. So, or you can if you pay for it. But anyway, Cameron Saaiman, he's more likely to get the finish, I think, if he gets the victory, because I trust his offensive prowess, especially against a guy who hasn't lost, even though Koslow's, 25 years old. It's not like he's some kid. But I'm taking Cameron Saaiman to win by round 2 and round 3. Really, I have it in my head it's a knockout, but they're very similar to the knockout odds, the flat round odds. So that's what I'm playing. Round 2 plus 400, round 3 plus 900, and Koslow round 1 plus 1,000. Small little sprinkles. It's probably going to go to a split decision, and I'll lose every one of those bets. But just looking at it, on paper and from having seen Cameron Saaiman, it's how I think I should play this one. So like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos in which I'm even less coherent than I was in this one.